What's good, everybody? So, I want to talk a little bit about how you can stand out from other digital agencies in 2020 and beyond. And what I see happening is that a lot of agency owners continue to go the path of becoming more full service. They go through certification after certification to say that they can do SEO, web development, conversion, funnels, automation, chatbots. And it's almost like, the more certifications, the more likely they're going to get business. And the reality is that that couldn't be further from the truth. And the more likely that you're actually watering down what it is that you do and your ability to stand out from the competition. Because when you're trying to be everything to everybody and be full service and all of that stuff, it's going to be really hard for you to have powerful and effective marketing to capture the clients that you want to bring in, right? Outside of referrals and word of mouth and all of that stuff, what we really want to be doing is standing out and being able to automate our own lead generation and have clients coming to us on demand. And in order to do that, you can't just look like another full service, we'll do everything agency. And I want to share 3 things that I believe that all agencies should do moving forward if they want to stand out. These are the top 3. So let me pull up the old iPad here. And the first one, the first step is to visualize your process. So visualize process. What I mean by that, when you want to stand out, you want to tap into something that is proprietary, something that makes you different from all of the competitors. One of the things that we help our clients do is extract from all of their experience and skill sets and services and whittle them down into one proprietary process that they know will help their ideal client solve a problem. Really, the most painful problem. Not all of the problems, the most painful problem. And so, let me clean this up a little bit. Visualize the process. And being able to visualize what the client experience is going to look like in your marketing, in a sales conversation, will really bring to life for that prospect how you're actually going to help them. So we've talked in previous episodes about how a key for agencies to transform is by adding on more leveraged revenue streams that solve a problem. This is kind of the notion of productizing your service. And what you really want to do is be able to show that your clients can, by working with you, have a transformation where they go from problem into solution, right? And all along the way, you're packaging up the steps that you would take them through to make this transformation possible. And once you know what the steps are, you can actually create a visual. And there's a lot of good books on this, but one thought leader on this is a guy by the name of Matt Church, and he has a book on this. I'm blanking on the name. I'll put it in the comments. And he talks about how to create models and models to help visually sell and demonstrate your expertise and set you apart from the competition. And really what it pans out to look like is, how do you use, circles, squares, triangles, etc., to demonstrate your process for solving your client's problem. Oh my God. Ah. And really what it comes down to is, how do you use circles, shapes, triangles to visually represent how you're going to move your client from the problem to the solution? what this comes down to is the ability to visualize your step-by-step process, the client journey experience that a new client will go through these steps up here into some sort of shape. And there's a lot of different shapes that you can create just from circles, squares, and triangles. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you've seen me create kind of a Venn diagram where you say, hey, this is step 1, step 2, and step 3, and highlight some of the benefits that are in these areas. You could talk about a ladder and have your process go up a ladder. You've probably seen people with a pyramid. You've seen people with a matrix. You've probably seen a circle, and you could divide a circle into, a visual. And when you start taking your intellectual process, your intellectual property, right, and start to visually represent what a client is going to go through, they're going to have a better picture as to what it's going to be like to work with you and how you're going to make this transformation. And maybe it's a process like this. There's a lot of different ways depending upon how many steps you actually take your client through. But the ability to really start to stand out from the competition is to really package up that intellectual property into a visual model for the experience that a client is going to go on. So that's the first thing. The second thing that you can do is then to package that into a leveraged offering. I'll just say leveraged offering. Leveraged offering. And so what I mean by leveraged offering is we're going from done for you to done with you, from one-to-one to one-to-many. We're going from custom to repeatable, so on and so forth. And the ability is to actually now take this result of this process, right? So we want to look at, hey, client, ideal client, you want this end result. And historically, we've done it through a done for you process to reverse engineer that into a leverage program where it's done with you. You've seen high ticket consulting, high ticket coaching, group programs, things of that nature. That's what we're talking about when I say a leveraged offering. And what we've seen is if you have, say, your done for you service right here, we've seen clients that have added it on the front. So you have to go through the leverage program in order to get into the done for you. We've seen them put it on the back end where after they go through a specific deliverable, they kind of evolve into like a mentorship advisory type thing. We've also seen them add it on the side, depending upon exactly what that offering is. Ideally, your leverage program can deliver the exact same result as your done for you at a more affordable rate, which will allow you to elevate your prices of done for you and then have kind of more of your prospects coming through this done with you vehicle, which is going to make you more profitable because the profit margins on this will be much higher, require less overhead, etc. That now you have a really great profitable revenue stream that is, again, in often cases on the front end of your business. But this will allow you to raise done for you rates, make that more of a premium, and then your done with you becomes a more affordable option. And you're kind of going down the value ladder, so to speak. And obviously at the bottom is DIY. And this is also amount of access, right? As you go up the ladder, you have more access, done for you, et cetera, et cetera. And so first we visualize our process, then we package it into a leveraged offering. I've mentioned on another video, just because you're an agency owner doesn't mean the only way that you can convey your agency expertise is through labor, because over time, your clients will devalue your labor and they'll find a way to get it cheaper. So you can't just be paid based on labor, or at least if you want to have longevity, I believe, into 2020 and beyond with your agency, it's going to be beneficial to add on revenue streams that over time could become more valuable, which is where you go back to selling your knowledge and your experience and go into getting paid for your thinking versus just, as we call it, your hands to keyboard. So step one, we have visualize the process. Step two, we have package it into a leveraged offering. And then three is expand revenue. Now, if you haven't done the first two, you're not going to do this one yet. So you want to stabilize the revenue stream of your first leverage program. I'm not saying go launch all these different methodologies all at once, but if you think about SaaS companies, that's software as a service, a lot of them will make exponential or amplify their profits by adding on what's called expansion revenue. So you've seen they have like a base plan, but then if you add extra seats or you add extra features, your monthly fee will increase. And when I look at agencies and I look at, coaching and consulting companies, expansion revenue to me is if you have this proprietary process that you've, say, packaged into a model, right? You could deliver that through Done For You, that process. You could deliver that or pieces of that through the Done With You program that I'm talking about. You could deliver that in a 2-day workshop where you don't really have to reinvent the wheel every time. So in example one, you could deliver this whole result through either one of these. Or you might realize that, hey, if I just sell this first piece as a 2-day in-person workshop that I can upsell people into the balance, now you've added a new revenue stream that doesn't require you to go create a whole new product offering. I'll link up in the bottom of this video, a video where I talk about make your business more like Chipotle, where it kind of breaks down this concept of how you can use the same ingredients in a different wrapper to have a different, essentially give it a different wrapper, but you're still selling the same result using the same ingredients. You're not going out and creating something unique every time. So those are the three things that I think any digital agency can be doing in 2020 to start to stand out from the crowd of all the other digital agencies that are the full service, is to visualize your process so that you can show your clients what they're going to go through, to package that process into a leveraged offering. And then once you've stabilized that, depending upon where you're at, the bonus one would be expand revenue, which is take that exact same process or pieces of that process and create a whole new offering from that. So I hope you found that helpful. If this sounds interesting and you want to add a more leveraged offering to your digital agency, reach on out to us. I'll put a link below this video where you can schedule a call with myself and or someone on the team to see if it's a good fit. And we'll chat about, what does your current process look like? Do you have one? And really identify, can we help you package this and get your first few clients in the next 90 days? If that sounds like something that would be of interest to you, check out the link below this video. Otherwise, we'll chat soon. If I gave you 5 to 10 new clients, would you or your agency break? If so, your current agency model is broken. I struggled with this too until I found a better way. By adding online programs, training, and coaching to our agency, we doubled profits without adding more hours. If you want to work directly with me and my team to transform your agency, visit myscalablebusiness.com to learn more.